Yo, what's up, guys? What is up, team? What a day. So market went a little south, just a little bit. um, well, let me mess with my background music. It's too loud. What's up? We got 7 people here. Make sure you hit the like button. We're gonna get started soon, and make sure you comment who's here. I don't know who's here because we're not doing it on Discord. I can't see your names. So comment whoever is here. We're here for Peloton earnings. Peloton is a company a lot of people are interested in. Had a pretty crazy year. We'll kind of go over that. And a lot of people are excited to see where it is. I do own a very small part of Peloton, like very small. What's up, Cade? But nothing really too big. In the 0 to 50K challenge, if you're somebody who's part of our private stock market academy, it's one of the bigger positions in that portfolio. I love Peloton. I think Peloton's going to have an amazing future. What is earnings going to be like today? That's kind of where I'm iffy. I don't see it being, I don't want to say I don't see it being good. I just don't think it's going to meet up to standards. We'll have to kind of see. But I think we have a way better chance of Peloton falling down to like $74, maybe even $82.50 before we see it going up to like $110, $120 for sure. So make sure you guys hit the like button. We'll be waiting for earnings to come out. If you guys have any tickers you want me to look at, drop them in the comment section on YouTube. Let me know, and we'll get into this. Market was looking pretty good today. We talked about in the private academy a lot about where we kind of saw the market going. We're talking a lot about on the S&P 500 this potential rejection point on this EMA, as well. This green line basically is $340, which was a big resistance point and all-time highs before this whole Rona situation that happened. So we did have a pretty sharp retracement from 356 all the way down to at 1.330, but a nice bounce. And you can see today, pretty perfect rejection. We talked about this this morning at 9 a.m. on the live stream. Perfect rejection. I thought maybe we'd push up to like 344 first. Pretty textbook rejection. We need to reclaim this tonight. So like, overnight we need to reclaim this, but we're probably gonna end up falling down to 331 before looking for a bounce. That'd be the 50-day SMA on the daily chart. Let's take a look at Apple. I know Apple did not have a good day today. Perfect rejection, textbook rejection. These are all of the resistance lines I've drawn out for Apple. We've had these here for 3 or 4 days now, and it's going basically according to plan. I'm not in Tesla. I'm not in Apple. I'm not in either of these right now. But overall, pretty nice sell-off. Rejected perfectly at 120. I called for $110, $111 today. Didn't quite get there. Got to like 112.50. Probably see a push down. Potentially another move up. Something weird though, we do have this reverse head and shoulders this forming here, which is very bullish, but we kind of gave that up today. Kind of had this big push down. Angel, would I ever get in Apple or Tesla? Yeah, I definitely would. Oh, we got 12 people on the stream. Make sure you guys hit the like button. If you have anything you want me to look at while we're waiting for Peloton, put it in the feed section. Yeah, it depends. In the 0 to 50K challenge, I have a very small position in Apple. I would take a long-term position in Apple or Tesla. Just they have not been, I had $25,000 worth of Tesla at like $180, before the split. So that would be at like $30 right now. But I just don't ever think they're appropriately valued at all. Either of them, I think Apple is valued a lot better than Tesla right now. But overall, I do just think, I don't know, it takes a lot. In order for me to take a long-term position, I have to really love the company, which I like both of them. I do love both of them, I should say. But it has to be appropriately priced. I've been here long enough. I've done this long enough to know I'm not overpaying, right? I don't need the perfect price, but no, I don't think either of these still are fairly valued companies. But then again, being such big companies in the media, now that, Stonks is getting big with everybody, it's like being the new rapper. They probably aren't ever going to be appropriately valued, in my opinion. You know what I mean? because as soon as they start fading, people just buy them up. So Apple, I'm still calling to 111, 110, and Tesla, I was calling to 350. We actually hit 307 at one point, but looking like Tesla will probably fall to 350, potentially 335 again. Looking like before market close, Apple looked like it was creating a triple bottom. Can we see a breakout off of that? So if you're talking about on the 5-minute, we actually had a reverse head and shoulders too. So you can see shoulder, head, shoulder, which would indicate, if we had more time, a potential push up. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a bounce here tomorrow. You know, I really wouldn't. On the daily chart, you know, oh, this is Tesla. I'm sorry. You said Apple. Yeah, same type pattern. They're kind of moving together. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a bounce tomorrow. I've talked a lot about this on the channel and in the academy, where like I don't think this is going to be a crash unless economic data comes out that's terrible. Unemployment numbers weren't bad today, but overall I wouldn't be surprised if a move up happens, but I'm sort of expecting a push down to 109. Okay. Let's see, is Peloton out yet? I do have some plays open right now. They're very, very safe plays. Except for the TNA play is not that safe, I should say. But I have Bank of America puts that I sold. For those of you who do not know what selling puts is or what selling puts entails, essentially it's a bullish play towards a stock. If you don't know how, how to trade a put or how to sell a put, it's not the same as buying a put. How to sell a put. I'll actually put the video, I'll link a video real quick for you guys. I do it a lot when the market's being dumb, because you're not gonna make a ton of money, but you can actually end up making pretty good money during volatile times without having to risk a ton of money. I don't like playing open options a lot, like in these times, because your decay is going to get murdered. You have a market that literally will turn on you in a second, and we still have a ton of volatility. So I sold some Bank of Americas. It's as long as we close tomorrow above 25, I'll make like $60. It's not a lot of money at all, but $60 for one day, it's not bad. If it closes below 25, I'll have to buy 700 shares of Bank of America, which I'm not really upset about. Let's see what else. And I have TNA, which I usually don't like playing TNA because TNA, it's a triple leverage ETF. I hate playing them, but I will sell puts on them. So I did sell. As long as TNA closes above 31.50, I should make about $150 tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. If not, I'm gonna get stuck buying like 300 shares, which is not the end of the world. Right now I'd lose about $150, so it's not bad. Chris Nesbitt, what's up, Chris? Why is GAN not moving up like DKNG and PEN? I think it's much better value. No, I agree with you. I think the problem with GAN is just on their last earnings, their earnings weren't spectacular. They weren't necessarily bad, but what really screwed them was they lost, and I don't think it's that big of a deal long term, but they lost the sports book to FanDuel. So FanDuel is a huge client of GAN. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge fan of GAN. I love them long term, but they no longer work for the sports betting aspect of FanDuel. They're still doing the gambling, like the casino gambling and stuff, but they're no longer doing the sports book for GAN. I mean, I'm sorry, for FanDuel. So I think a lot of people have kind of jumped off the GAN ship for a bit. PEN has just been absolutely insane. And DraftKings is kind of like, I wouldn't put GAN and DraftKings in the same spectrum, because DraftKings is kind of like to put it in broker statements, it's kind of like Robinhood is the broker, but before this, Apex was the clearing firm. So, Apex was the back of the house for Robinhood at one point. Robinhood was the front of the house. So DKNG is the front of the house. They're like the marketing, the actual use of the app, but they don't do anything as far as the back of the house with the actual betting and clearing and holdings. Like that's what GAN does. So I'd say that's probably why we're not seeing a gigantic push in GAN. Also too, I mean, a lot of them are up a lot. Like DKNG is up a lot this year. PEN is obviously up a ton this year. Lows of $3 all the way up to 65. I feel pretty sick to my stomach because there's a lot of people who were hitting me up maybe like 4 or 5 months ago about getting in Penn. And we always thought it was a good buy. I never thought Penn would get all the way up to 65 this quick. But if you look again, it was trading at $3, not too long ago. So it is up like 800%. For me, GAN is like a very, very long-term play, so I'm not too worried about it. But I would say that's probably why we're not seeing that type of movement. Let's see, Peloton. Geez, Peloton sold off 12% and then a bounce. Do we get any news yet? Okay, so we have earnings. 605. Will they actually? Oh, here we go. Peloton crushes estimates as sales surge 172% and expects a strong demand to continue in 2021. Damn, that's a huge killing. It's not Zoom numbers. Zoom was like 400% returns or something. But still, that's insane. Peloton's fiscal fourth quarter sales surged 172% with such a strong demand for its bikes and treadmills. Also, too, if you guys don't know, they're creating a more beginner bike. I think their bikes start at $2,600. Now they're starting like an $1,800 bike. It's kind of like the Model 3 for Peloton. Get the hell out of here. It said it doesn't expect to normalized order to delivery. With such strong demand for bike and treadmill, it said it doesn't expect to return to normalized order to delivery windows in the U.S. before the end of the fiscal second quarter. Peloton's outlook for first quarter and fiscal 2021 sales are far exceeding analysts' expectations. That's phenomenal. Now, a lot of you guys are probably like, all right, sales up over 172%, insane outlook. Why is the stock not up a lot? Why is the stock not pushing up like crazy right now? It's only up 0.5% after hours. Well, I talk a lot about it in the academy, but the stock market is a reflection of the future, so it's constantly pricing things in. A lot of people might have had these numbers priced in. You have to realize Peloton is up a lot, like a lot. Just from March to now, it's up 475%. That's insane. So that's why we're not really seeing this big type of a move. Its high-tech stationary bike and treadmill became two of the hottest commodities for people looking to work out at home during the Rona situation. The fitness equipment maker also offered Wall Street an eye-popping outlook for the current quarter and fiscal 2021, with sales of its bikes not expected to slow down anytime soon. That also means more strain on its supply chain. Okay, in a letter to shareholders, Peloton said it has expected demand to moderate, but recent resurgences of I can't say that word on here, perpetuated the imbalance of supply and demand. It said it doesn't expect to return to normalized order to delivery windows in the U.S. before the end of the fiscal second quarter. Peloton has proven that once it hooks its new customer, they tend to stick around. Average net monthly connected fitness churns was 0.75% in the latest period, and it's predicting it will remain under 1%. Earnings per share of 27 cents versus a 10% expected, so they literally almost tripled what expected for EPS. Revenue $607 million versus $582 million. Not crazy, but still, a $30 million beat almost. Swung a profit of $89.1 million or 27 cents per share, compared to a loss of $47 million the year earlier. So literally from a $47 million loss, same time next year, $89 million profit. That's absolutely amazing. Peloton said it ended the quarter with more than 1.9 million connected fitness subscribers. That's huge. The subscription service is what kills it for them. Like, you pay for the bike, but it's like 40 something bucks a month for the subscription. That's where they really kill it. Any subscription service business is usually a winning business. Let's kind of, we'll talk quickly about my business and the academy. That's why I do a subscription. I do a subscription not over having you guys pay $1,000 up front for a course. Number one, because the barrier of entry is lower, which if you join our academy, you probably will make money your first month, or at least your first couple months, and therefore the proof of concept is there. But it's also to continue you to get better and better and better and better. I don't want to sell you a product and have you never use it. And Peloton's the same way. You buy the bike, you get a year free of the Peloton membership, you get in better shape, and then you just keep paying the $40 every single month. Then eventually a new Peloton bike comes out 4 years from now, you buy it, or you buy the treadmill, and they literally just keep going. Let's see. Yeah, phenomenal earnings. If you are a long-term shareholder, you should be very, very, very happy about these numbers. You know, right now, is it going to push the stock up to $120? Probably not. Will it sell off to like 80, maybe 75? Who knows? But if you're a long-term investor in Peloton, that is very, very good. The other thing I talked about in the academy today, and we talk about it a lot, is what are going to be, I can't say the name, but like what are going to be some potential Rona plays in the winter. Because you have to think, if you look at the summer with the whole Rona situation, a lot of people can't be inside, so they're going to be outside. What are some big things that sold a lot during the summer? Outdoor equipment. So I think it's Big Five Sports. They killed it. Outdoor equipment was huge. Boating equipment was huge. Bikes were huge. Peloton, obviously huge. Zoom, obviously huge. I think, Peloton is another winter Rona play, because Peloton, people are going to continue to buy them. They literally can't even keep the supply chain up. I think it's a great gift idea if you're a little bougie to get somebody a bike for Christmas. We'll see. But not bad at all. Is anybody in here a Peloton share owner? Got 12 people in here. Anyone a Peloton shareholder? Or playing Peloton earnings? I sold it today. Master Critique. What's up, Master Critique? Chris says I own 100 shares. Very nice, Chris. Yeah, if you're a long-term investor, you should be very, very happy. I sold today. Oh, it's all good. Don't worry. Selling at 95 ain't bad though, Master Critique. I mean, it did sell off pretty aggressively from there. Were you planning to hold it long-term, or are you doing it as a play? I have 12 shares, says Leah, at $60. Very nice. Let's see. I thought to play earnings, but chickened out. I have a bike though. Oh, dude, those bikes are sick. Yeah, it wasn't the best earnings play because the risk versus reward really wasn't there. Spectating ramen. I wish I knew when it was a good time to go in. I was hoping to get back in at a lower rate. Yeah, I was gonna get quick with it and buy in at 80 because it dipped down to 80 and then popped 12%. You still might be able to get the time to do that, Master Critique. You really might. It could potentially sell off. They have the earnings call coming up at, what is this, 4 p.m. Central, so 6, maybe won't be so good. We'll see. But overall, I think it's phenomenal numbers. But good question from Spectating Ramen. I wish I knew when was a good time to get in. We'll kind of talk about this. I feel that there's a lot of stocks out there that a lot of people want to get in, but they just keep going up and up and up and up. Like, for those of you in the academy, I wanted to get into Peloton for a long time. I missed the initial Peloton rip. I thought Peloton was stupid. I thought the bikes were literally for bougie old ladies to go spend like $3,000 to buy these bikes and stuff. And then like once I really understood it, once I understood like, oh no, it's a culture. People who buy it don't return it. People who buy them use them. There's huge groups. You're part of the cool kids club when you get one. And then once I started really looking into it, and then they released the app where you don't need one, you just pay, I think it's $12.99 a month or something to do the workouts. Like, that's when I really started seeing the vision of Peloton. And God, but it's a good question though, because when's a good time to get in? When I bought Peloton, I bought it like $60 or $59 or something, and at the time it had gone up 227%. 227% in 110 days. Right? It's pretty crazy. So I got in at like $60, and I thought I was getting in way too late, but I said, screw it. you know, I'm planning to hold for 5 years, and at one point I was up 71% on those shares. You know, now I'm up about, I think, 50 something percent. So when a stock just keeps going up and up and up and up, like Peloton, it's not with earnings like that, I wouldn't say it's approaching bubble territory like a Tesla. I like Tesla, but Tesla's approaching serious bubble territory. So when something's getting in bubble territory without huge sales, like, you know, Peloton's posting up, I would say don't buy in. But when you're asking when should I get in on a stock that just keeps going up, it's all dependent upon your time frame. Because if you plan on holding Peloton for 5 years or more, you could buy it at $98, and in 5 years you'll still make money. I would damn near guarantee it, right? If you're holding it for like 3 years plus, you know, you'd still probably be fine. I plan to hold Peloton for 3 years. I bought in at $60. At that time, it was near all-time highs. If you're planning to hold it for like a year, I wouldn't go buying at all-time highs, right? If you plan to hold it for 6 months, or if you're just trying to get on the hype, I wouldn't go buying it now. I would need a steep pullback. Like if I was trying to get in for like 6 months, I would need Peloton at $60. Or, you know, where it is now, or at the time I would have needed it at like 42. The longer the time frame, the less chance of messing things up, right? It's same with trading stocks too, not even just investing, but the longer the time frame, the less chance you have to mess things up. The shorter the time frame, the harder it is. You know what I mean? I'm planning to hold 3 to 4 years. Yeah, I mean, make it a position where you buy it and then you just keep buying more. So I didn't buy much, but I bought at 60 and I haven't bought any more because it just keeps going up. I don't want to average up into this position. My plan was I buy it at 60. If it goes down to 50, I add more. It goes down to 45, I add more. It goes down to 40, I add more. It keeps going down, I'll just keep adding more. But I'm not going to average up into this position. So if Peloton doesn't retrace, you know, if Peloton went now down to $56 or down to 60, I'd be averaging. Even if it went to 65, I'd be buying more. Because after earnings like that, I'm very happy, right? I don't care spending $70 a share after earnings like that. That was really good earnings. Master Critique, I trimmed to half, but when I saw it continuously dropping, I sold the rest. Not bad. Selling half is usually a really good play. You know, I like to do that because it can de-risk, but you can still get a bit of the profits. But no problem. I mean, it's trading at where you sold it right now, so it's not the end of the world. But still, I mean, if you could have gripped that at $80, that would have been insane. But you know, right now, since close, it is up about 10%. So I'm very happy with that. It's a very good play. Their app and competition capabilities. Ramen, I'm planning on holding 3 to 4 years. Peloton's a great company for the long term. I agree with you. I do agree with you. You know, I don't know. My plans with Peloton, I'd like it to keep going down. We'll see. I actually might end up averaging up because I don't have a big position. I literally have a very small position. For those of you who are not in the private academy, we're doing a 0 to 50K challenge where I'm teaching people how to literally go from nothing and build a long-term portfolio worth $50,000 in 5 years and putting $100 a week in. So I'm making it realistic. I don't want people to be like, yo, well, you can just put whatever money you want in. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean? I want to make it so everybody can actually build this portfolio. I don't have many shares. Right now, the portfolio is only worth $1,300. I only have 2 shares of Peloton. So I may actually average in. But we'll see. I was actually looking at potentially adding long-term Slack, but it ripped like 3% today. So I might actually add Slack long-term to this small portfolio too. I'm not really sure yet. I'd like to see it reject and then eventually move down to $20. So I think we're probably gonna end up seeing it bounce, you know, right around this nice support. But we'll see how it goes. Whew. You guys have any tickers you want me to look at? Anything you want me to take a look? If not, also subscribe to this channel, guys, if you're new here. Put out 3-4 videos a week, all on trading, investing. we do both. We're like a hybrid channel here. Because I believe in, you know, long-term investing is the key. Long-term investing is the key to your success, and it's the key to making a lot of money and for sure being rich. Trading gets a lot of people around to where they're like, oh, I'm gonna make all this money and I'm gonna quit my job and trade for a living. Yeah, you can do that. You know, we make good money trading, but long-term investing is the key. So it's the best. Workhorse, WKHS. Actually have not looked at this in a while. Whoo, and it did exactly what we thought it did. God, see guys, ugh. I gotta stay on top of things, guys. Gotta stay on top of things. This is gonna be a really good learning. Good job bringing this up, Master Critique. This is gonna be a really good learning example. So what did we notice here? What was I drawing before we had this breakout? What did we have here? What pattern is this called? Probably be a little easier if I do it here. Condor Music. We're definitely going to go into that. We'll definitely talk about Cisco. All right, so if you guys look at this is called a symmetrical triangle. So what ends up happening with a symmetrical triangle is essentially we get lower resistance points, higher support points that eventually lead to what's called an apex. Kind of think of it as like a, I always use the nasty pimple, but like think of this as one finger, your support is the other finger, and they're squeezing the pimple until eventually the white head comes and it bursts. It's disgusting, but it makes a lot of sense for a lot of people. What you do is you get these bounces within the support and resistance. You get to what this is called the apex right here. And then usually a symmetrical triangle is a continuation pattern or a pendant. Yeah, people call it a pendant too. So you're right, Angel. So what you see is like you get this squeeze and then usually it's a continuation. So obviously Workhorse was going up. So a continuation means it would continue to be bullish. It's funny because you can see, where did I have an alert set? Right? I had an alert set right here at 1478. That's where I planned to get in, and literally it touched 1478. For some reason, my alert never went off, and I was going to enter. So if I would have entered at 1478, I would have been very happy because I would have been up 70%. But, you know, great example. Broke out here, pushed up resistance at, you know, $19.20, broke out resistance 21.71, broke out, just hit all-time highs. So that is a very good example of a symmetrical triangle, but Master Critique. For me personally, I wouldn't touch this. When you're trading, you know, maybe if you're talking about long-term investing, I don't know if you're talking about long-term investing or like shorter-term play. But when you're trading, it's all about your risk versus your reward. The risk is very small here versus, I mean, the reward is very small here versus the risk that you're going to have. There's a very, very, very good chance, I'd say about 70% chance that we're going to fall back down to $20. We'll bounce off this EMA, I'd assume, but we're probably going to fall back to $20, which is like a 10% fade. You know what I mean? We could break out to all-time highs again, probably up to $27, but for me, it's just not worth it. If you want to get into this, I would wait, see if we pull back to $20, and then look for a bounce there. Cisco. All right, let's look at Cisco. I did buy some Cisco. I expected Cisco to die, and boy, did it die. So pretty damn perfect example. Big sell-off, bear flag pattern, huge consolidation, low volume, breakdown, held at support, and now we're dying. So yeah, I expect Cisco down at $33. That's where I see it going, unless we bounce here. You know, $40.30 is a pretty strong support. We did break it. We can reclaim it. We have to reclaim it pretty soon. You know, probably next couple days. It's only 2% below. We're actually above it. If you look today before the big sell-off, we were holding at support. But I do agree with you, Condor Music. We're probably going to see it eventually down to $34, especially if all of tech continues to sell off. I really do think that'll end up happening. But should see a nice bounce here. Hopefully, if not, it's going to continue to sell off. For me, I'm I'm long in Cisco. I hope it dies. I hope it continues to die, because that means I can continue to just keep buying. Lancadia Holdings, LCA. All right, so I don't know anything about this company, but we can just go off of the technical analysis that we have right here. So you can see two main support levels. This is pretty common. You see this with like Rocket Mortgage had the same thing, two support levels and then a breakout. But nice breakout. What is this? What is this? A janky? This is a janky pattern, but what pattern is this? It's a janky one, but what kind of pattern would that be considered? No, you can't see it on the... What would this be? Cup and handle. So it's a pretty janky one, but you have a nice cup, you have your nice handle that formed here, and then a breakout. Yep, so Angel, you are correct. Cup and handle. So janky cup, nice handle, beautiful breakout off this EMA. For me, I personally wouldn't touch this yet. The move was this move from here. So if you were to play this, you'd buy it at like, you would have gotten it at the bottom of the handle and then pushing all the way up to 1928. That would be the play you would be looking for. Personally, I'm not saying it's going to go down. I'm just saying it's not worth, to me, the risk. Brian Hernandez. Yep, you are correct. Cup and handle. So for me, I personally wouldn't touch this, Chris. I'd hope to see it fall back down to 1663, and that would be a really good time to enter this position. To me, it's just not really worth it at this very moment, because even if it pushes up, to $20, 21, that's 11 to 15% return, but you're risking an 8% loss just down to support. What we want to see is a 3-to-1 risk versus reward ratio, which means that if we are risking, 10%, we want a potential 30% return. LUV, let's take a look. I bought it 11. Boom, you're killing it, bro. I mean, if you got it in 11, you're killing it. So you're more than fine. I just thought maybe you were trying to enter, but if you got it at 11, you're doing really well. If it's a long-term hold, I don't know crap about it. Sorry, I don't know anything about the company, but based off of technical analysis, it's kind of what I'm seeing. The other thing too, I talk about it a lot. I think technical analysis gets a bad reputation. Technical analysis is not like magic or guru-y. To a lot of people it is. But you got to realize the stock market's probabilities. Every single time, it's not like it has to touch a support or it has to touch a resistance and it has to go that way. You just have a probability. If we bounced 3 times at $12, the probability of it bouncing at $12 a fourth time is pretty high. Doesn't mean it has to happen, but that's where some people get weird with technical analysis. They're like, it's bounced here before, it has to bounce again. No, it doesn't. You know what I mean? All right, Southwest Airlines. What do you notice automatically? Get rid of these. Get all this crap out of here. The old drawings I have. First thing you notice, 200-day SMA, which is a very strong resistance in this case. Rejecting off the 200, also rejecting off of this resistance that happened multiple times around 4150. Expecting LUV to pull back down to the EMA and then potentially down to the 50-day SMA. So right now, not something I like. However, I'd give it some time. If it could pull back down to 35, would not be a bad time to enter this position personally. But right now, it's just, for me, it's not worth it. I'm a huge stickler about entries, and you have to be. If you're in real estate, or if you're just an investor of any kind, you make your money when you buy it, especially when the market's stupid right now, right? You want to have the best possible buy-ins you can. Master Critique, they're up. So Workhorse, they're up like 80%, close to obtaining a government contract. They're also ramping up productions. They hired more than double the amount of staff they have on deck and signed a contract with Hitachi. I don't know anything about Workhorse long term, or I don't know anything really about the company. So I'd have to look into it. I'll straight up tell you I don't know anything about it. But from a technical standpoint, it doesn't look like there's much more juice in the old lemon to squeeze. How do you feel about WFC? I've been talking about it a bit. Market's dying. Not dying. Market's selling off. That's what we should say. Not dying. That's such an overstatement. But I think a lot of money is going to start getting poured into financials, because when you look at sectors across the board, which sectors are appropriately valued or undervalued? It's primarily financials, and it's primarily travel. I think a lot of people still don't trust travel. I don't trust travel. Financials are looking better and better. However, technically, it looks like we could, if we don't break out soon, it looks like we could end up seeing Wells Fargo down at $22 again. But we've been trying to break out. We've been really trying, and we just can't. We got a huge squeeze on the daily. This thing might squeeze till earnings, just 30 days away. I hope not. I want to see a movement. But I've been selling a lot of puts on Wells Fargo because it's just been sitting sideways. So it's a good way to make extra money. But we have a huge squeeze. If we look at the 4 hour, because it's a little closer, or a little better of a time frame to look at when we get these movements, we've just been squeezing within this channel. So I want to see it break out. It looks like it's trying to. RSI pointing up, MACD crossing, good volume in it. I wouldn't be surprised if it pushed up 3-4% into tomorrow or next week. Cup and handle. What's your feeling on WBA? What's up, Dustin Lindstrom? What's up, brother? WBA, is that Walgreens Boots Alliance? Yep. Whoo, damn, I've not been paying attention to Walgreens. I have this old fib up here. Okay, let's remove. No, let's just remove everything. Just be easier to do this the right way from the beginning. Clear drawing sets. Damn, I don't know why Walgreens has been selling off. I have to take a look at what fundamentally is pushing it down. Did they release earnings yet? Who? Peloton? I mean, that's what we're here for, I guess. Dave, if you're talking about Peloton, yes, they did. They absolutely killed it. Sales are up like 121%. Forecast is insane for next year. Amazing earnings across the board for Peloton. They did 27 cents a share versus 10 cents a share. And they beat by like 30 million on revenue. So really, really good. I haven't been paying attention to what it's doing right now, but really, really good earnings. It just keeps pushing. And the call is at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's like an hour and a half from now. Was I looking at Walgreens Boots Alliance? Yeah, I don't know fundamentally why this took a big fade. What's up, Sean? What's up, brother? Make sure you guys hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. Also, make sure you subscribe. Put a lot of videos out. Try to do at least 3 to 5 videos a week on trading, investing, the whole aspect of it. So Walgreens, I took a put as a lotto, bro. I don't blame you for it. Really, I don't blame you for it. If I would have had to play calls or puts, I would have definitely went with puts. Even though I knew they'd have amazing earnings, it's still just been on a tear. I wouldn't have been surprised if we had a sell-off, but we could still sell off. Earnings calls coming up, so potentially, hopefully it's not too far out of the money, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad play, you know what I mean? Let's see. So Walgreens, we've really just been consistently downtrending on Walgreens. Long term, I don't mind Walgreens. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'd go out of my way to invest in Walgreens. I think there's a lot of better companies to invest in. From a technical analysis standpoint, she's low. Like we're at pretty low lows. If you notice here what we had, what is this considered? What is this pattern right here? Descending triangle. So a descending triangle, kind of get the same squeeze, but it's bearish that we talked about with the symmetrical triangle. Squeeze, 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 break to the downside. I don't like this. It's not worth it in my opinion. It is it's really low. If you're buying long term, I don't mind it. If you're buying long term, I don't think it's a bad idea. If you are buying for like a quick trade, there really is no support in sight. Like, in order to even find a support, we probably have to go like probably 10 years in the past or something. Let's go 15 years. So next support based off of a 15-year chart. Well, we could get a support here, but we actually broke that support. Remove this. Next support based off of a 15-year chart would be down at $30. So for me, I wouldn't touch it. I think there's better things out there right now. Let's see. Brian Hernandez, what do you feel about Uber? It's been on the rise for a while. This is Ramen, by the way. Hey, what's up, Brian? So I like Uber. I like Uber long term. For those of you who are in the academy, you know I had a pretty big position, about like $28,000 in Uber. At one point, I made about $7,000 profit off of that. I've put a lot of videos out on this channel about if I'm bullish or bearish on Uber. I did have a price target at $350 to $500 in the next 5 years. I don't necessarily know if that's going to happen. You know, we had the whole Roni situation happen. So I don't necessarily know if that's going to, that definitely stunted their ability to make money, because you have a company where they're not making money. They're losing billions of dollars. The only thing that's making them money from a net standpoint is the ride sharing aspect. What a lot of people don't know is before the Rona, ride sharing was actually profitable. If they were only a ride sharing company, it would have been profitable. But not a lot of people are using rideshare, so deliveries took over. I think long term, it's a good investment. I'm not as bullish as I was before because we have these problems where people want to be W-2 employees. I've driven for Uber. It is terrible. I believe they deserve to be W-2 employees personally. Still like them. I think they're appropriately valued right now, but I think we're going to see it at $40 pretty soon. We've broken over this big resistance. I'd expect to push up to $40 in the next month or so. Baker, are you in the stream? Dave? What's your first name? 90% sure it's Dave. Yes, a question on Discord. So for those of you who don't know, oops, here we go. Shameless plug here. I do run an academy, stock market academy. We've got 55 hours of courses and lectures. We go live like this every single morning with the academy. I go over what I'm trading, why I'm trading it. There's like 280 of us in there. It's a phenomenal group. So if you do enjoy this kind of stuff, I'll put the link in the chat. It's $5 to start for your first month, because I'm doing a Labor Day sale that actually ends tonight at I think 8. So if it's something you're interested, if not, just hit the subscribe button. I put literally insane amounts of free content out there. So either way, it's up to you guys. Anything else you guys want me to look at? If not, we can hop off. I think I went through everything. I went through Wells Fargo. We already did Peloton, Love, LCA. I guess the next, getting my daughter ready. That's okay. All good. So yeah, if not, the only other thing, I dropped the link there. The best thing I'd say to you guys is, I got you on the Microsoft, and we can do Tesla. The only other thing I'd say before we hop off, I'll look over Microsoft and Tesla too. Going into this week and next week, is the market is being stupid, right? We need these pullbacks. It's part of life. If you're down a ton of money, it's a part of trading. It's a part of life. It's a part of investing, trading, whatever you do. It's a part of it. You don't have to take positions. You don't have to trade. Remember that. You don't have to trade. You know what I mean? You don't have to. Always watch the market, see how things are moving, learn how people, basically how the market gets manipulated and how you can not get screwed. So learn how to navigate around that, but you don't have to trade. Like in the past month, I've made about $4,000, $3,000 this month. But most of it is just off of selling puts, or I did take a big SPCE play. So don't be afraid to not take any plays, or take your profit when it's on the table, right? You know what I mean? Let's see, but don't get discouraged if you're down. It's a part of life. I tell my academy students, your first 2 years trading, you shouldn't even expect to be profitable. You should expect to stay alive. This is not a game for the weak-hearted. This is not a game for people who are afraid to lose some money. I know that sounds terrible, but it's a skill. If you treat it correctly, you treat it like any other skill, like learning how to fight or paint or play guitar or drive a race car. It's just like that. You're not going to be good overnight. But if you put in the time and the energy, you'll have a skill you will literally have for the rest of your life that will produce income for the rest of your life. Let's take a look at Microsoft, Tesla, and we will hop off. Microsoft. Whew. All right, so I was calling for $190. I'm still calling for $190. I hate the whole God. It's tough because there are times in the market, like I talked about this earlier in the stream, during probability. There's always probability of things happening. Sometimes it's like a seesaw. Sometimes on the left side of the seesaw is when things are highly probable and you can put some great trades on. Then you have the other side of the seesaw where things are not probable at all. We're there. We're where things are 50-50 right now. And that's why I talk about you don't have to take positions. If you're in it for trading long term, then investing long term, you're fine. But if you're looking to trade something, we're at the 50-50 point. I wouldn't be surprised if tonight Microsoft went up 3.5%. We held on this support line, and then going into the next month, we pushed up to $232. But if I had to guess, if I had to put money on it, I'm saying Microsoft's going to go down to 200, and we'll probably bounce at 200. If we don't bounce at 200, it's going to go to 190. But I see it going down to 200. I see us bouncing off the 200. It's where I see Microsoft going. We rejected perfectly off this 200-day SMA on the 4-hour. And on the daily chart, we rejected right off the 50-day and the EMA. So I'm expecting a push down to $200. Probably not what you want to hear, Sean, but that just means you get to buy more. And Tesla. So I was calling Tesla at 350 a week and a half ago publicly. People were making fun of me, telling me I'm an idiot. It hit 310. Actually hit 305 at one point. Came all the way back up. Look what happened. Rejected right at our resistance line. Rejected right at the 100-day SMA. Think we'll see Tesla at some point, maybe pre-market or after hours tonight or overnight, down to about $350 again, and then a potential bounce. If you're looking to buy into Tesla long term, great time to do it. And I know a lot of people have been saying battery day. I don't know when battery day is or whatever. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining me on the stream. The last thing that I would just say to anybody, do your due diligence before you listen to anybody. Literally, before you even listen to me, do your due diligence. Go watch some videos of mine. Make sure I'm the real deal. We talked about it this morning. I called Robinhood gurus, but we talked about it on the morning stream about so many people who want to run their mouth about what the stock market's going to do, about how the stock market's going to go, about how much money they're making. They never show their losses. And it's usually the people who don't know what the hell they're doing that want to run their mouth the most. So please don't blindly listen to somebody on a Facebook group. Don't blindly listen to some YouTuber. It's very, very easy to be a quote unquote guru, right? And something a lot of gurus do. And Jeremy or Germ, I don't know, I think his first name's Jeremy. He's in our group. Yesterday, as a joke, he obviously was very open about it, but he posted how he made $35,000 on Amazon, right? Well, he bought a spread. So if you guys don't know what a spread is, essentially he sold a call and he bought a call. So on the one call that he bought, he was down a lot of money. But on the one call that he sold, he was up like 30 grand. So in retrospect, you could just post one leg of your options play and tell everyone you made 30 grand. There's a lot of ways that people hide this stuff online. So guys, like, please just do your due diligence on anything, and you know, follow people real time. That's why I post all my profits, post all my losses in the my position section. All my students know I don't make money all the time. You don't have to make money all the time in order to be profitable. With proper risk management, you could literally lose 4 out of 10 times and still make great returns. Whew. I miss doing these afternoon streams. Maybe not every day. I used to do them every day. I miss doing it. All right, guys, enjoy your day. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys. Peace.